Okay, let's talk about inferences. An inference is sort of a conclusion that you come to based on the data that you collect from your survey. So we talked about surveys, getting a sample of the population, and now we're talking about what we do with the information that we get from a survey. So, or the information that we collect from, say, even an experiment, sort of even like observations that we make. Well, we can draw inferences. And businesses use this kind of information to make predictions about what they should sell or when they should sell it, and even what people like or what they might want to see in the stores and other ways. So inferences are pretty important for real world experience. So it's what you think could be or happen from what you see in the data. So let's take a look at this right here. This is some information on do you guys remember what these are called? These little dots on a number line. It's called a dot plot. And each one of the dots represents, in this situation, probably a fourth grader. And each one of these dots represents a sixth grader. And we know that the number line represents the number of butterflies found. So what inferences can you make from this dot plot? So let's take a look at how it's shaped. Notice there's more dots here over the value of 0 than anywhere else on this number line. Then we know the highest value with any dots on it is 8, as opposed to the 6th grade, where we see the dots don't even start until you get to the number 4, and they go all the way up to 14. And where do we see the most dots? Well, we see 1, 2, 3 over 5, 1, 2, 3 over 9, and 3 over 12. So what inferences can we make from the dot plot? I'm going to give you a second just to think about that before I say anything else. Say it out loud. Say it out loud to yourself. Unless somebody else is in the room, they're not going to think you're crazy. It's just you. What inference can you make just from looking at that dot plot? That means, what kind of conclusion can you draw? I feel like Dora the Explorer waiting for an answer. Okay, well, one of the inferences that I can make is that fourth graders are not too good at finding butterflies or probably catching butterflies. There's a couple of them that are pretty good, but it looks like I can make the inference that if I want to find butterflies, I'm going to ask a sixth grader to help me and not a fourth grader. Sixth graders are better than fourth graders at finding butterflies. What other inferences could we make? Think about it. You might say, hey, most people or the average student probably only finds about how many butterflies? Well, what does average mean to do? Just looking at this. You guys remember what average means to do? It means to find the mean. So sometimes we can make inferences if we do something with the data. So we might find the mean or even the median of the data. Those tell us different things about the measures of central tendency. So we've compared the two, but now we can say, what's the mean number of butterflies that a student might get? Well, we know that this means that one student found 4 butterflies. 3 students found 5. 2 students found 14. 3 students found 9. So we can but we know that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 didn't find any at all. Poor little guys probably felt left out. So we can draw inferences if we were to find the average. Well, how might you find the average from this? Do you guys remember how to find the average? To find the average or the mean, we take the sum of the values. Sum means to do what math operation? Add. So we add up all the values and divide by how many are in our data set. So if we take these quiz scores, for example, these are quiz scores from the 7th grade quiz 1 and quiz 2 in 1 unit. So you can look at the scores. For quiz 1, we had 70, 91, 85, 87, 73, 74, 77, 83. How might we find the mean or the average score for each student? Well, we would go through and we'd add them up. 70 plus 91 plus 85 plus 87 plus 73 plus 74 plus 77 plus 83. We get our total, and then we divide by how many are in our data set. You count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 values. So we would add them all up and divide by 8 to get our mean score. So if we did that, as you can see here, the average score would be 71% for quiz 1. We could also do that for quiz 2. But hey, we want to go back up to our butterflies and find the average number. How would we do that from a dot plot? Well, it's pretty much the same way. So we would add 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0. Well, we know this is 0, right? One person got 1, so plus 1 plus, how many students got 2? 1, 2, 3. So we would add 2 3 times. How many times would we add 3? We would add 3 twice. We could probably speed up this process. Want me to speed it up? Then we would add 4. We would add 5 twice, 6 twice, 7 twice, 8 twice, and then we would have a sum. Now we know we want to take that sum and divide by. Remember, we're going to divide. That's what this fraction bar means. We divide by, well, how many are in our data set? Well, go back and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Notice I'm only counting the dots. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, right? We have 20 different numbers or values in our data set. And then we can find out the average or the mean number of butterflies caught. I'm trying really hard to write. You all know I struggle anyway. There we go. Hey, I think I misspelled butterflies. Shh, don't tell anybody. So you get the idea? We can make inferences from that. So we can say the average 4th grader caught blank number of butterflies. You could also do the same thing with 6th grade. These are just some of the ways that we can make inferences from data. Remember, you can find the mean. Go back, write this down if you need to. This is how we find the mean. How do you find the median? What if we wanted to make a comparative inference and find the median? Remember? Put them in order and find the one in the middle. I know this is cheesy, but hey diddle diddle, the median's in the middle. You add and divide for the mean. The mode is the one that appears the most, and the range is the difference between. Hope you guys have a good day.